Namaste, my friend. Why are you so calm, in peace, and happy in life? One seeker asked the master. One seeker asked the master, why are you so calm, in peace, and happy in your life? Master replied, I'm waiting for you to ask this question. The seeker asked again, what is the secret? The secret is I'm not the body, but I live with this body. I'm not the house, but I live in the house. I'm not the kitchen, but I live with the kitchen. Any changes, it means any changes that takes place in the body doesn't affect me. Body has to change. It is subjected to change. It's a natural law. I cannot say I'm 10 years old. Means the body is 10 years old. I cannot, no one would believe it. I have a long beard, So we are constantly aware. The master said he is constantly aware. He has realized that he is not the body, he is the real self. Let the body change. Let me recognize and accept the changes that is taking place in the body. Repair and maintain whenever it is required. That is why I am peace and happiness. I am not the mind. The master continued, I am not the mind. It is the mind that says I'm anxious, upset, reacting. I live with the mind, but not directed with the mind. Mind is an instrument. Like the car is an instrument, I have to use the car, the blender, and the smartphone, and whatnot. Hundreds of instruments. Car breaks down, I go to the service and get the service done. So when the mind breaks down, you have to service it by the principles of East and West. Don't get upset because mind is upset. Don't react because the mind is reacting. Don't be angry because the mind is angry, you are not. Master continued, that is the secret of my calmness, peace and happiness. Then what happens when I'm not the body and the mind complex? The moment that realization is there all the time, that is known as the awakening. No. But what happens? You realize what you are. First thing you realize you are not the body and the mind, and then you realize you are the real self of the nature of peace and happiness, love and wisdom. Finished. How can you be anxious and reacting and angry when you have realized you are peace, happiness, love, and wisdom? You have realized the sweetness of a sugar. Sugar can never be salty, cannot be bitter, cannot be sour. Who makes it sour? Because I know, I recognize in ignorance with the wrong notion that I am the body, I am the mind, and then the suffering, no end to the suffering. That is the secret of the Eastern wisdom. Nothing more, nothing less. Nothing more. What happens when you know real self? Okay, you are awakened and you have realized the real self. What is happening? You live the way you are. What do you mean? You live, think, and speak the way you are, minus what you are not. Minus body and the mind. Minus what the body says, what the mind says, you are not, you don't identify it, you don't recognize it. You are already living in peace and happiness, love and bliss. Don't think that something in the body, will change. You have three eyes or you have three ears when we awaken to the real self. But no, definitely you have the three eyes. The third eye is here. And that eye is of the wisdom, that eye is of the knowledge, that eye is of the realization. What is that? You are in peace and happiness. How to check? So the seeker asked, do you? I have understood, but how to check? Master said, how many times, in how many situations, in how many relations and locations. Last week you were upset, you reacted, you were angry, you feel that your mood has changed. 10 times, pick up each one. Recognize it is due to the body and the mind, because you, with a wrong notion, you recognize that you are the body and the mind. That is why that is happening, and that is the ignorance, that is the impurity, that is the delusion we need to get rid of, and that is what the Eastern wisdom is teaching us. Such a small thing, the seeker asks. Yes, such a small thing. You go to the mall, you park the car outside, you believe when you return you will find the car there. You go to the food store and you buy the cooked food with the belief that it is the good food, not with the poison. You call the plumber to fix your bathroom. You believe it. Master says, why don't you believe you are the real self? Why don't you believe you are the peace? Why don't you believe you are happiness? Why don't you believe you are the love? The moment you have that belief, you continue the journey, you will discover that peace and happiness in you. We are not saying you simply believe, have a blind belief. First you believe and then start the journey. What will happen? Your mind dictates you and you are reacting, and first time you remember and recall, no, I learned that I am the peace and happiness. The moment you recognize that you are the peace and happiness, the anger and the reaction will dissipate. We forget it. That forgetfulness is ignorance. That is the wrong notion. The mind takes over me. The mind dictates over me. Why the mind dictates over me? I am the mind. I have that recognition. I have that realization. And that's a wrong one. That is what the ignorance. Are you in that state of the mind that knows you are the real self? So I have to be very clear. Means as a seeker, I have to be very clear. I'm not the body. I am not the mind. Whatever the body does, it follows the laws of the existence, because I don't have any control. Even if I say to the body, please remain sweet 16 until the age of 80. Not possible. I tell the mind, don't be impulsive, but it will be. But when I recognize that I am not the body and the mind, that I-ness is not attached to the body and the mind, they can't do anything. you will recognize peace and happiness. You will recognize peace and happiness. With understanding, with the knowledge, you live consciously follow the small steps and see we are not the body and the mind. Close your eyes. Eyes are closed. So when you close your eyes, you are aware. Then check if the position of the body is comfortable. Position of the body is comfortable. So do you have a feeling of the comfort? So eyes are closed, you are aware, you know. So that you may say it is a step. You look at the neck joint. Mentally, you are aware. You look at the neck joint, you feel the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. I'm not asking you to create the comfort, sensation, and steadiness. You are. Why you are? Because it is coming from deeper inside you. But if you try to force, who forces the mind? The mind says, I will get. And once you experience the sensation, comfort, and steadiness, check your awareness is independent of it. The knowledge is independent of an experience of sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Do you recognize it? You are free from the mind. So, in that state, the mind naturally moves inside. So, when it moves inside, when it moves inside, you find the emptiness of the space. So, just maintain an awareness of the space. Why to maintain the awareness of the space? To find the mind should be pure enough to discover that state. Look at the shoulder joints, be there. Sensation, comfort, and steadiness. And after that, there is a space. You're not looking outside. But that is in one example. That's a trick you are playing with the mind as the mind plays tricks with you and put you in reaction, anger, anxiety, duality, and a conflict. So you're casually saying, look at the hip joint. So you are looking. You're not doing anything. You feel the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Understanding is very important. Awareness is very important. And then what happens? The mind naturally, so called, moves inside. We will learn what is the actual meaning of the mind moving in. I always say going within, living within, and awakening within. These are the three major steps in any meditation or mindfulness practice. So when you experience the sensation, comfort, and steadiness, I'm just using a phrase which has a different meaning that your mind is already moving with it. In that state, you become aware of the space, you know the space, you are aware. That is being comfortable, my dear friend. Look at the entire body. Look at the entire body. You are aware of it. You feel it. You're not doing anything. You have a knowledge, you have an experience of sensation, comfort, and steadiness. So called the mind lives within. In that within, you are aware of the space. You are aware of the space, emptiness or blackness. Even for a fraction, it's okay. The moment you have that knowledge, that experience, you are comfortable. Oh, you are comfortable, yes. Can I be comfortable in any situation, in any moment in life? Yes. You can follow these steps while communicating to anyone, thinking about sitting alone in your home, talking to anyone outside in relationship. So you are comfortable within, you are not allowing the relation, the situation, or any condition outside to affect you. That is what I talked in the very beginning. Can I do it? Answer is yes, we can do it. You're just aware. You are knowing that you're comfortable. But at the same time, the mind continues to invite unwanted, unwelcome thoughts. What should I do? Do nothing. Let them come and go. No, no, it's difficult. Why it is difficult? You are standing across the road watching the traffic. You stand across the road. You are not in the middle of the traffic, mental traffic. Thoughts are coming, very good. Not coming, very good. That is the another secret. That is what I say. As a step, it is not a step, to be practiced. What I say, it is being carefree. When you meet a person, not only you are aware of that person, as I mean to say the physical body, but you are also aware of the background, isn't it? Yes, you are carefree of the background. Another way to understand being carefree, so unwanted, unwelcome thoughts are coming. You are just watching at a distance. Oh, what did you say? Yes, you are watching at a distance. You are observing at a distance. You are seeing at a distance. No, no, but what it means, you have already separated mind from the body, mind and body from you. What? Yes, it is so simple. What will happen when you have separated? The body and the mind will not dictate you. The outer situation will not affect you. It is just living in pure awareness to be being carefree. Being carefree. Or another way I explain. Just do nothing. You are living with eyes closed, you are comfortable, You are into that state of steadiness in the body. Okay? So, what I explained to you, like the highway has three lanes, so the mental highway also has a three lanes. Lane number one, unwanted, unwelcome thoughts are coming. Very good. But you are in the lane two. So, what is in the lane two? You are watching. What is happening in the lane one? You are knowing, you are seeing. You don't go into the lane one. But why people go into the lane one? Because of attachment, because of the impurity of the mind, because of ignorance, because of obsession, and then the reaction, anger, hesitation starts. Did you understand? So, understanding and also the so called practice. It's a play and effect. So, lane one, the way I'm aware of the highway, the lane one has too much of traffic, so I start driving the lane two, but I don't get upset what is happening in the lane one. I'm careful, I'm aware, I'm seeing, I'm watching. Same thing on the mental highway. So what happens? The moment you are aware you are on the lane two, you are already calm. You experience the calmness, peace, and the joy. That is what the lane number three is. So the way the highway has three lanes, the mind also has three lanes for the sake of understanding a metaphor, and then you can apply that metaphor. That makes you comfortable and carefree. Yes, I'm comfortable, and you might be experiencing that state. But we should sustain, we should maintain that state. So any thought has its feeling within knowledge that impacts my life. You're upset and you constantly repeat, I'm not upset, it will not work. Why it will not work? Because your focus is on upset feeling. It will not work. So, what to do? That's why we have millions of mantras. The mantra has a knowledge and understanding. You change the track of the mind. The mind has unwanted, unwelcome thoughts. It constantly hammers your mind, results into mood swing, attachment, detachment, likes, dislikes, etc., etc. So you don't touch it. You don't want to control them. Where you say, Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha. Lane number two, you are saying in your mind, Sarve bhavantu sukhina, with emotion and the feeling. The mind is upset, you recognize it. That is lane number one. But recognize Sarve bhavantu sukhina. Let everyone be happy. So you are saying everyone should be happy. Means every situation, every moment, every relation should be happy. What it means? You are removing the person with whom you are upset in the lane number one indirectly. You're not attacking directly. Because if you attack directly why you are upset, the crazy mind will give you 1 million reasons. But when you are saying let everyone be happy, why? Because happiness is our essential nature. One reason. Second reason, everyone is seeking happiness. Every living species on this planet. That we are very much sure. Because everyone is seeking happiness, and hence happiness is our essential nature. Third point. Fourth point. Eastern wisdom teaches you that happiness is within me. I should seek inside. And I have no reason to be upset and reactive to seek a happiness from outside. So what happens? You drop the reason to react and to be upset. No, no, but what others, if the others are react, because they are not learning Eastern wisdom, so you should have a compassion. You are aware. You are not dictated. You are not affected by them. Are you getting it? Say yes mentally. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya. We are understanding and we are doing the practice also. Sarve santu niramaya. Sarve santu niramaya. What is the meaning? We are seekers of the Eastern wisdom. So let everyone be in the state of well-being. Why? Because everyone is seeking well-being. So what is that well-being? Well-being is present in the deeper inside the body and the mind. Oh, well, that is what the teaching of the Eastern wisdom. So no one is responsible for my problem and the issues and the challenges? No. Okay, so I will discover that state of the well-being. No one is responsible outside and I'm doing good. That awareness, this process is, I discussed before, this process is known as discernment, viveka. And you said discernment. So what happens? The moment you apply the discernment in the lane 2, that is the intellect inside your head during the practice, what is the result? Dispassion. What is dispassion? You don't care. The mind gives you a force to get upset and react. But when you don't care, this mind will ultimately calm down. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Let everyone be blessed. It does not mean don't question negatively that if I am seeking blessing and grace for everyone, will it happen? That is a wrong thinking. So what is the right thinking? If a person is alive, a person is living, that itself the greatest grace and the blessing the existence is offering. No, but when I say let everyone be blessed, I'm recognizing and accepting that everyone is receiving the grace and the blessing from the existence. What about my friend met with an accident? Maybe he was driving unconsciously, met with an accident, so existence is helping him to raise his awareness next time. Are you getting it? So I'm using this mantra to change my mind. I need not to get upset in reaction, anger and anxiety from any situation, at any moment, in any location. Put that knowledge into the mind, put that understanding. Why? because every situation, every moment, and every location and relations is nothing but the secret of the existence who is educating me to live in peace and not to get affected and dictated by anything outside. So you're free. Ma kasya dukha bhag bhavet. So what happens when you are in the state of well-being, when you are seeking happiness, when you seek the grace and the blessing, it comes from your mind, the lane number two, not the lane number one. So what happens? The mind is full of compassion and the kindness. Let none suffer from misery in this world. Why they should not suffer from misery in this world? Because that is what the existence demands from us. That is what the existence wants us to recognize and accept. Are you living into that state of awareness? If the answer is yes, just look at the breath and keep on counting the breath. No change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath. The breath goes in, the breath goes in. You feel, you know the breath is going in, you feel the sensation, and you are counting in one mentally, out one, in two, out two. Go on counting the breath. I will not say anything for a couple of minutes, and if your counting continues without a mistake, why the mistake happens? The lane one, unwanted, unwelcome thoughts, they come, you get carried away. That is why you say you forget. Who can forget? You are with me. It is so simple. It is so easy. It is a play and a fun. Many people normally they talk about it that if we change the breath, we do the breathing, we feel the freshness in the head. That is the lower practice. The highest practice that you are doing nothing. Casually you are looking at the breath in the state of sensation, comfort and steadiness. The mind is living within because you are aware within. It is knowing the breath that is going in and out, you are feeling the sensation and you are counting the breath. Why you are counting? Because when you are counting, you are able to pay attention to the breath without changing it. Now, but what is going to happen if we pay attention to the movement of the breath going in and out with a sensation? You don't allow the lane one of the mind to interfere in your life. Then what will happen? Now you have started working on the mind. What will happen then if you are working on the mind? You are a winner. What does that winner means? You reveal your real nature, that is of the nature of peace and happiness, love and wisdom. Are you sure? Don't ask me I'm sure or not. You have to be sure. You should have that conviction. Why conviction? Lane number one doesn't disturb you. You get rid of the lane one instantly. How? By understanding, by knowing, by being aware, by counting at this moment. You can easily recognize how many times your mind returns to the lane number one, picked up a thought, either fall into unconsciousness or carried away by a thought. You will recognize what impression in the mind is causing trouble. Your cognitive ability should always remain alive during any practice of meditation. If it is not, you may practice meditation for 50 years without change. After all, we are moving higher. My master used to say that to see the world, we have to keep all the five sense organs active. But we want to see ourselves, we normally ask to close our eyes. So he told his master, and then he started meditating with eyes open. He was one of the great seeker. Intensity of seeking was so great that he practiced all meditation with eyes open and did not allow his mind to be distracted. We will do that. You are aware of sensation, comfort, and steadiness in the body. You may have a variety of other experiences. You recognize, you accept it. You discover that the mind is living within, all around the space or the blankness. Then you are also aware of the breath going in and out, feeling the sensation, and you are counting the breath. Do nothing, keep looking at the breath. Keep looking at the breath is going in and out. How do you know? You feel the sensation. You are aware the breath is going in and out in the state of steadiness in the body. It is just an awareness, it is just an understanding, it is just a knowledge. So now we put some action on this breath by the mind, and that action means we want to purify the mind. We have already discussed that. So we have to relate this breath with the rib cage. Means what? We will breathe little faster, and every time we inhale, we see the expansion of the chest, and every time we exhale, we see the contraction of the chest. Are you clear? Yes, start breathing from the rib cage. Not very fast, but fast enough to feel the sensation all around the rib cage. You feel the expansion of the ribs and the contraction of the ribs during inhalation and exhalation, respectively. You are bypassing the lane 1 again, remember. Thought is the impurity of the prana in the mind. So when we do this kind of a breathing, the thought that comes from the lane 1 dissolves. Keep on, continue, my friend. And stop it. So when you left the chest breathing, watch how the breath returns to so-called its natural manner of breathing. And who makes the mind return? Who makes the breath to return into that state? You have to explore it. I'll answer in the next section. Just watch. At least you are sure you are not there. Someone else is that pushes the breath, and you start breathing normally. So-called normally. Clear? And now, in that state, we experience a sense of calmness and a sense of relaxation, or so-called freshness. We'll discuss in detail. Now you look at the breath, and that breath should be related to the belly. As you inhale, the belly expands like a balloon, and as you exhale, the belly should squeeze inside. It's a little longer breath. Keep on. Continue. Longer breath means you inhale more than you inhale into the rib cage. But your breath is rhythmic, it is not very fast, and it is not a shorter breath, it's a longer breath. You inhale more oxygen, if I say so. You exhale more carbon dioxide. That's why you squeeze the belly and you expand the belly. Keep on. Continue. When we do this breathing practice every day for a couple of weeks in a month, When the mind follows that pattern, it changes the mind completely. Now leave that. A long breath into the belly. Just watch who brought the breath to a normal state. At least you are not there. You simply watch. And the breath goes to its habitual and the normal pattern. So, what is our knowledge and understanding? We can breathe from the rib cage, we can breathe from the belly. What if we breathe from the both belly and the rib cage? One deeper breath. First, it goes into the belly, then into the rib cage. So, first, deeper breath. Exhaling, it squeezes your belly and the rib. Did you get it? In the state of the sensation, relaxation, and the stillness. Let us start. You take time. Your breath is long, deep, with a little hissing sound. It helps you to maintain that level of awareness. Longer, deeper breath with a little hissing sound means you're keeping the mind alert and aware. And leave this, allow the breath to return to its normal pattern. Keep watching it. Keep watching it. So you are watching the breath. Do you know the meaning of the Shantu hum? Means I am the peace. Hum, the Sanskrit word aham, means I am. Shantu means the peace. Non-verbally, non-verbally say when you see breath in and breath out, no change. You just recognize. The way you see me, you recognize I am. Same way. When the breath moves in, you recognize non verbally as if the mind says, I know Shantoham. The mind says, I know when the breath comes out, Shantoham. As if you are saying with the mind's tongue, as if you are saying with the mind's tongue. Shantoham. I'm saying to demonstrate. You're not moving the tongue or the lips or the. You're just as if you're doing nothing. You're watching and recognizing. Shantoham means I'm the peace. So when you recognize and accept, what happens? The mind gets absorbed into infinite space. What is that space? That is peace. That is why when we say sukha, ka, Sanskrit word ka means the space. Su, good space. So good space in the mind is peace and calm. What? Yes. That is the beauty of the Eastern wisdom. I'm doing nothing, remain as you are. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. Enjoy that state. Next week, our next session, we will understand what exactly is the ignorance, impurity, emotional bondage are, and how the understanding ignorance, impurity, emotional bondage helps us to change the mind, helps to transform the mind. We will understand that very important lesson, understanding ignorance, impurity, and the emotional bondage. That is the result of being upset, reactive, angry, and mood swing, etc., long list. Until then, thank you very much, my friend. Be happy, keep smiling.